Welcome to another exciting episode of Flappcast, Behind the Funny, where we find out what goes on behind the funny here at Flappers Comedy Club and Restaurant. I am Joshua Snyder, a comedian and the promotions director here at Flappers Comedy Club and Restaurant, and I am really, really excited this week to have Jeff Richards.
You say that, but your eyes were dead when you said my name, didn't you?
Sorry, I
Don't be
this
sorry.
was only audio.
Don't be. I know I didn't mean to point you out too much right off the top, but
Yes, welcome. First of all, thank you so much for doing the show.
well, thank you for having me, and thank you for offering me dinner. I love dinner. It's only 4:00, but I love dinner.
So Jeff, and can I call you Jeff?
I wish you would.
All right, good.
And I think you are.
Excellent. The one thing that first struck me when I was watching you, when I first saw you, was how easy you make it seem up there.
Well, I'm not wearing a dress, and maybe I should be, but, I don't know. I get that. Some people say that to me, that I look comfortable, or that I don't care, or I don't care, But the truth of it is, I'm very scared on the inside, and I am, I'm tickled when it goes well. I'm tickled when I get a laugh, and it is really a great thing. So I never let it bother me. Enough to bother me,
I see. And another question that I was thinking about too is that this weekend, because you're here Friday and Saturday,
yes,
doing two shows, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Because in past shows you've done a little bit of stand-up, but then you've done a little bit of some singing, and I'm wondering, are you going to be doing that same?
right? Well, there is, there's dancing, there's singing, there's jokes, bits, there's impressions, celebrity impressions. So it's basically everything all in one pot and stirred up, and maybe some breadcrumbs are thrown in there. But I am getting ready for South Africa tour, so we are working a lot of that out.
Gotcha. Okay. How old were you when you first started doing stand-up?
I was in college. I studied at university, and I was 21, I think I was.
Gotcha. And may I ask which college?
I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Gotcha. Okay. And what were you majoring in?
Thermonuclear dynamics, and I switched to just graphic design. And that was correlated with my marijuana usage.
Gotcha.
At the beginning of that.
Went from designing the rockets to writing the webpage about the rockets.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Gotcha.
To writing poetry, to writing lyrics, to writing, romance novels, things like this.
Please tell me you've written a romance novel.
Well, I am working on 3 different romance novels at one time. One's a whodunit. One's a whodunit. One is a apropos, and the other is prose. And those are a trilogy. They have nothing to do with each other, but I like to put them together. I mean, they're not finished, but I like to put them together. So.
Do you have titles for them yet?
And I have working titles.
Okay.
One is Hey Bro. It's an American subculture experience. One is thermonuclear dynamics, and that's basically about my college life. My early college life, and the third one is basically a journey quest. So I think I thought the name would be nice, just to call it Socks.
I like that. It says a lot, I think.
Well, I hope so.
So okay, you're in your Chapel Hill. And do you remember the first joke you ever told on stage?
I do not, but I remember the first impression. I think I did.
Okay.
I think I did Louis Anderson, I think.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Can we get a little bit of that?
Well, I do Louis Anderson from The Family Feud.
Okay.
That period of time when he was dehydrated, he was disoriented, he was asking people questions, but wasn't quite sure if he knew he was there. but it was like, you know, sort of basically like,
It's hot in here. Top 5 answered. Where you from, huh? You're from Florida? She's from Florida. You ever go swimming when you're in Florida? You ever just kind of Top 5 answers. People. Show me water. I'm dying.
so it's basically in Minnesota. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
That's so interesting to me that because I feel when I see a lot of people starting out and I see people who are just starting out doing impressions, I feel like there's always like the cliche go-tos that I see people doing, and it's what strikes me is that. Do you remember why you chose Louis Anderson of all the people to be your first impression?
He was a huge influence on me in my comedy, and he was one of the comedians I watched when I was a child.
Okay.
And I always loved Louis Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, I became friends with Louis. But now, looking back, I think it really was the Family Feud years. Because he really stood out in that genre.
So when you first got on stage, did you know from that moment this is my life, or did it kind of take some time to?
Well, as you know, and as most people know, I didn't just start out as a stand-up comedian. You know, I spent many years as a magician, and even many less months as a seamstress. So my life was paralleled by those two careers happening at the same time, as I was in school and I had a child. So I mean, I don't know that I thought anything was going to work out, but I knew that I was driven by entertainment and what it could be. You know.
Gotcha. Question about the seamstressing. That's probably not the way to say it. Where did you work as a seamstress?
Oh, I did a lot of it on through the newspaper. I had a ad in the newspaper basically, and people would bring their trousers, their blouses, and schnauzers. Some of them brought schnauzers. I love animals. But again, this is not necessarily a common path. I didn't know for sure if I would ever pull out. But I did. I pulled out, and but I have one child.
Gotcha. I see. How after college did you go to New York or LA or one of the bigger cities?
I went. I was in Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles from North Carolina, and that was in '98, and. Sort of performing at local, the Catskills, basically, the Catskills of Hollywood, the Beatnik district, all of the districts that were knit. So I basically did my upping in stand-upping, and singing came much later, and lyricizing came much later. But this. My first journey in Hollywood was basically the Comedy Store, the Improv. I worked at the Comedy Store and for about 9 months. So.
Okay, at the door.
At the door.
Gotcha.
I worked the door. Anyone can work the door, which is scary. But now they're picking larger people, stronger, larger people to be able to get, because you've got to be able to block the doorway. I mean, you don't want to violate any fire code regulations, but you have to block the doorway on one level or another, because if people get by, they could have the potential to hurt themselves, maim themselves, and nobody wants that.
I see.
Yes.
I see. And a lot of famous people started as door people at the Comedy Store. Demi Moore, Regis Philbin. You have a lot of people. Victoria Jackson, not Victoria Jackson. Reggie Jackson. She started there. Were you? how was your comedy evolving as you were coming through LA? I mean, I know impressions were always a big part of what you were doing, but did it grow or change over time? Were there moments where you kind of took a different turn that you weren't expecting?
I got involved in just being silly up there, and that was very early on, and then it was something I revisited a few years later after I started thinking I shouldn't take this so seriously. And but I would come up with impressions, and I think the evolution of characters was something I was fun with, You know, like my character Ronnie, a new character I have, a new character named Ronnie, and they're my fucking back. Oh, my back. That character is a character in itself. You know, these sort of things. You know, the Rambo type characters, the vigilantes.
When you're coming up with a character, how long is it? Something where one day you just kind of comes into your head, or does it take kind of time to craft it?
You know, I think I'm studying whoever it is subconsciously. You know, I'm studying their subconscious, and I'm seeing what is a painting, but not a painting of me, a painting of what I am looking at, which is me, and I'm not wearing that. Do you know what I mean? It's I can't describe it, but it's it's a gut reaction. If you meet someone and they have an impact on you, and you in your gut have a reaction to that, it's real and honest. And if you can really connect in it, and you happen to be able to do voices, you have the chance to make some sort of magic.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I see. Do you when you're composing your act, do you write any of it down, or is it all kind of in your head, and kind of do you write on stage, or?
You know, it's weird because since I started wearing silver tight pants, which is for the pleasure of others, but trust me, it's not good for me. And a marching band jacket and whatnot. There's nowhere to put anything, and it's not like you can walk out there with a set list with the lights going on and there's people dancing, and it just doesn't look right. So I have all of the headings and headers in duct tape, very thin duct tape, on the baseboard of the stage.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I can see what I want to do and where it needs to go and what I want to put there and all those sort of things.
Gotcha. And do you sit down and kind of dedicate your time to writing, or do you find that you come up with stuff kind of in the background as you're going through your day?
It's for music or bits or what?
I was for bits.
For bits, I let them just kind of come to me, but I try to be a part of pop culture as much as I can, and I try to take in as much as I can, because you never know what's going to click in your brain.
You mean like by watching
yes.
stuff? Okay.
But I don't really sit down and say I'm going to try to think of something. It's much more an issue of what I happen to see and what I happen to trigger me. I'm also a man of fate, so when I look at it, I see, the glass basically half a glass, like literally if you cut it down the middle.
Wow.
1/2 glass.
Wow.
Which you can't hold anything, but you can if you hold it. If you tip it right, you can hold a little.
That is true, undeniable. So in there's a bit. One of my favorite bits that you did was Dr. Phil as a frog.
Dr. Phil's a frog, and they're all flexible. They don't have to be anything. It's just a starting point. Half of his program is him stuttering. It really is, and he's like a wounded seal. Somebody club the poor thing. if you want to change your life, you got to make changes in your life. I mean, it's self-putting.
Ah, God, that kills me every time. Are you you working on any? Are there any new impressions you're working on you can share with us, or?
Well, I have David Attenborough is a new one.
Oh yes.
But that's not fair because he's English as well. So, but David Attenborough, especially. The snowfinch. I'm a curious creature and still not yet born. These are sea cells. Measuring almost a foot in length. They spend most of their time motionless. So that's David Attenborough. Sir David Attenborough.
Right. Who I love. Yeah. No, play the applause. Play the applause. I think that is.
It feels like the applause are mocking us.
Ironic applause. What I like about that one too is that his brother Richard Attenborough in Jurassic Park. So there's a little bit of that "Welcome to Jurassic Park" kind of thing in it. I won't even try to. I can't do impressions. I won't even.
This piece of gum has probably been chewed almost 250 times. Now, to you and I, that is nothing. But to the gum itself, it is everything.
Oh, man. Awesome. Truly awesome. Do you get political when you're on stage much, or do you try to avoid that?
I have feelings towards Trump. On one hand, he's a politician, and on the other hand, he's not a politician. But he's running for president, so I would say he's a politician. It should be a terrible time to let people know he's not. But Donald Trump, you can't not have a feeling one way or another about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch him, and it seems like he's getting more Vegas on us. It's like, these are stupid people. They're not smart. They're dumb. They're stupid. They're dummies. What do I think about ISIS? Personally, I prefer Reebok. Maybe New Balance. Maybe not New Balance. I don't know about New Balance. Who cares? New Balance.
You've done women before, haven't you?
Well, I would like to think so.
There could be a rim shot there, I think.
I do. The only one I do is Jodie Foster from Silence of the Lambs. Yes, doctor. Give me his name, doctor. Yes, doctor. He said, you know how it goes. It doesn't get any prettier.
Oh man, this is. See, I've got to be careful because I could just sit there for an hour and go, all right, do this, do that, do this. But I don't want to.
Please.
Oh, great.
Whatever beseech you.
Thank you. Are you currently living in LA right now, or are you
currently
tonight?
In
LA? Okay, tonight.
Tonight I'll be here. No, I live in West Hollywood, and I love West Hollywood, and I love Hollywood, and I love East Hollywood, and I love bean burritos, and I love It is great to live there. I love it. Where do you live?
Well, I live in Burbank, and I love it too. It's I don't think there's a West Burbank. I think it's all just Burbank. But
no, there's a Gaza Strip, but there's not a West Burbank. You would think there would be.
You'd think. Maybe unofficially, maybe there is. No. It's where the comic book store. I don't know. Now, you mentioned earlier, one of the first things you said was that even though it doesn't appear like it, sometimes you are afraid when you are on stage. When it gets tough, is there anything that you do to get out of it, or how do you handle stage fright?
I masturbate furiously
while still on stage.
Well, not if you saw it. Trust me, you wouldn't be whistling. be whistling for your life. Anyways, but it's something that relaxes anybody. It's what I can't even get into it these days. I can't even say what I want to say. But I have sponsors and I have people. If I could say what I want to say, I would say what I want to say. But I am working on that book too. Yes.
Gotcha. All right. I like that. What advice do you have to people who are starting stand-up? Or sketch, or, comedy in general?
Feel it out. Feel it out. And I think it's always good to be quiet first. Going through the door and, come through the door quietly. At first. Even if you have the rage and excitement and energy of a bull, hold that back until people can assimilate and find the essence of who you are by your actions and your own morals. I think a lot of people don't live by those equations.
Right.
But they should, I think.
Yeah, no, the people coming in bragging, I'm the greatest thing ever, and they've never been doing it, 2 months and that kind of thing. And
well, not even the grandiose boast, but even the melancholy. Those who are afflicted with something that makes them annoying should put that in a duffel bag and hold on to that until people find something they like about that person. Do you know what I mean? Because you are going to eventually be annoying, but if you could just wait a little bit.
I think that's perhaps the most brilliant thing I've ever heard on this podcast in the entire 2 years I've been doing this. I've got to say right there.
I find that hard to believe.
I restrain what makes you annoying. That should be a book right there.
Maybe it is.
Oh man, crazy. Not crazy, insane. Sorry, you look like you were about to say something. I didn't want to interrupt you. Are you? I don't know why I'm asking this. Maybe I shouldn't ask this. Are you with anyone right now? Are you seeing anyone? Not that I'm asking.
I mean, I have a relationship with spirituality. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, gotcha.
I have an acute awareness of my own skin and my own lips and my own eyeballs. There is an acute ability and also, like I said before, a melancholy bourgeois mentality that it is not okay to be a man these days. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that or believe in it or even find any of it true. But at the same time, I have a deep understanding and a responsibility to the faith that I've chosen, which is spirituality.
Spirituality, gotcha.
I'm very spiritual. I can see beyond the paint. There is more there.
Do you believe God exists?
Well, if he does, he's taking a siesta. Have you seen the 405? Now's when you do the rim shot. Where's the rim shot guy?
You mentioned that Louis Anderson was an influence. Did you have any others?
Other influences that I've met or just influences in general? There's a lot of people, all kinds of people I love. Dustin Hoffman. I find you very attractive. Very attractive. Oh, yeah. There was a long hallway. I don't know where I was going. There was something doing. She didn't know it. She didn't want me to look at her. She looked at me and she said she don't know it. I said, you don't know. You don't know who I am. Trying to prove some sort of bullshit. They're going to cut that out. I don't know.
God, your face even looked like it when you did that.
Don't tell me what I need to know. Don't know. I ordered a cheeseburger. I ordered a Whopper. There's no Whopper in here. There's just curly fries. I didn't order curly fries. Did you order curly fries? Did anybody order? I didn't order curly fries. Now I'm gonna try to put my dick in them. The curls. Now you're gonna do that at home when you're there. Thank you.
Oh man. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of people that you can do impression. I'm trying to think of the ones that are not cliche. But all that are come to me like, can you do Schwartz? Do you have a Schwarzenegger? I'm sure you have a Schwarzenegger.
These are the ones that I just throw out there.
De Niro. I notice you always like to start with the sound and then go into the talking.
How about Gene Wilder?
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing where my finger's going. Yes, fine, good. On we go.
Wow.
You know, there's a little bit here and there's a little bit somewhere else. And I hope you find it. I think that you will. Is that right?
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that whole thing.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, what about Lester Holt? He makes me want to impersonate him.
Oh, yes. Please.
I'm Lester Holt. For the debates, I'm Lester Holt. I'm Lester Holt. That's all I can say.
I don't suppose you could do a Hillary Clinton.
No.
No. That's...
But I can do... How about Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh, now.
I was about last night, I couldn't I just started for the doors. They had a pamphlet, I don't know where it was, I don't know. On the principal and Donna's. Because I can't reach the light switch.
Interesting. It's you know what? It's really funny, but I feel like you're capturing a little bit of the sadness of each person too.
Well, I'm trying to. Well, I also am very sad. What about Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
No, but I
can't do it then.
well, I can appreciate it.
Rice. Mr. Weiss, Rice. Partners, Rice. Bitch.
Jesse Pinkman working in a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, what kind of drinks do you have? Dr. Pepper. Fanta, orange. Sprice. Rice. Sprice.
Oh man. I'm trying to. Who else is there? Who else? Well, can you do Walter White from?
Yo, I can't understand you. Be clear, speak English. Okay, some shits, right?
I like that one. I enjoyed that one. Do you? Man, I'm.
What about the music? You know, talk about the music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Yes.
the music. Can we play one of the songs?
I think we can. Where can we find it? We should have.
Well, I
planned
don't
this.
know. You could play any of the songs. Insert song here. Okay, that was great.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was
That was
awesome.
good. That was
I really
good.
liked it. That's my song.
Yes, because that's right. That is right. You have songs and you're doing songs.
Well, the album came out last year. The Shingles, my greatest hits album, The Shingles, all hits songs, and it have a new single coming out
Mm-hmm.
of a new album in about a month and a half,
Gotcha.
and a new music video. It's called Glove Love.
Glove love.
Love.
That's a caress. That's a caress.
When now, I'm assuming you're doing impressions or you're doing jokes and you're trying that out on stage. Does the same kind of process apply with music, or like do you try out new songs on stage in the same way? Or
yes, but I'm more sure of the songs than I am the comedy. Comedy is
Right.
very fickle. People are very fickle. But music, if you like a certain genre, you sort of stick to that genre.
Right.
And doing EDM and doing new wave and doing, 80s, those people already like that kind of music. So as long as it's good,
Mm-hmm.
you're in on that level. And then as far as the lyrics, of course, those have to be clever or at least inspired.
Right.
And those take some time to work out. But it's not like you work out lyrics on an audience
Right.
as much as jokes.
Yeah, that one you gotta.
Because
Not
I
that-
don't really want people to laugh at the music. I want them to feel it. And I want them to take it home with them. And I want them to make a sandwich out of it. And that's what it is. And that's what it can be.
What kind of sandwich?
What is probably provolone and some sort of prosciutto or something. It depends if they're vegetarian. You could have cucumber slices or something.
Yeah, that. I can see the prosciutto. So everything all right?
So he's doing the curtains. Aren't you
Yes.
supposed to be working the devices that makes this podcast possible? Is there no one steering the plane?
That's. Oh.
Well, I think we could play one of the songs.
Oh, God. Oh, very nice. Oh, see, it's our crack sound guy.
It's not going to work because... It's not going to work because...
It's not on the phone.
My phone just died.
Oh, it died. Okay, well.
So, but thank you for making the effort. Do you have Spotify on your phone?
I don't think
You don't.
I don't.
A lot of people. I love Spotify. I don't know why more people don't use it. I think they
don't
maybe
Spotify.
do, but don't admit it. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel that way with Spotify? People are holding back. It's like these Trump voters. Nobody wants. No, you say how many people voting for Trump? It'll be like, and I've done these auditoriums too, where there's 15,000 people, and you say how many people voting for Trump, and there's like 3 people clap, and you, I know it's more than 3.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Gotcha. The do you do the music and the lyrics all on your own, or do you have someone helping you with that?
I have Arlo Sanders, Ben Seaward, Daniel White, have all do music, make music and beats, and they send me the tracks, and I kind of let them rumble around in my head, and if I can think of a lyric or a chorus or something to get me started, all of the song speaks to me. If it speaks to me, then I will speak back to it.
Gotcha. I see. Is there any style of music that you haven't done yet that you want to do, that you want to try?
Not really. I like the 80s, and I like the new. I'm very stuck in the 80s, and that's where I was, born, what I was put of. So I love the 80s. I don't love rabies. I love the 80s. So what does that mean? It means I don't have an animal, and I don't want an animal. So don't try to give me an animal. Do you have an animal in your car?
I do not.
That's
I'm
paranoia.
allergic.
I might not have taken my medication. No, what were you going to say?
Oh, now I'm worried that I do have an animal in my car. I shouldn't. I'm allergic.
To all animals, or just?
Dogs and cats. I seem to be okay with horses.
Oh well, that's your own business, isn't it? What you do with horses. Anyway, now I can't get that thought out of my head. Joshua, with your Q-tip haircut. Anyway,
Yes, several collaborators will send you music, and you will kind of
and I
see what
listen to
inspires you.
and I listen to the music, and I try to picture myself on the balcony, and what I would do if I were Angelina Jolie, and I take a step back, and I partake in my thoughts, and I try to be in the moment, and see, like I said, see what happens. Because so many times people don't really try, and I think that's part of the effort. It takes effort not to try. If you think about it, it really does. It takes more effort not to try than to actually try.
More effort not to try than to actually try.
That's right.
I feel That's almost like
because
a Jedi
you're not
thing.
trying and you're succeeding, then you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying is not a state of equilibrium.
Right.
Trying is the hot tub with the barracudas. You know, you don't get in a hot tub with barracudas unless they're dead. Do you know what I mean? And that's the mentality. And you were in LA, and you're, certainly in Burbank. It's harder in Burbank, but also people seem to be a little bit more. I mean, more people dress at, they buy the Ross clothes and things. So, and in Hollywood, it's more of a homeless shelter.
Yes, or thrift.
Oh, thrift.
Yeah, right.
Oh, homeless shelter.
Or homeless shelter.
If
right.
you've seen it, it's really anyway.
What do you have a preference in terms of large venues or small venues, or do you not care anywhere?
I would like to say it depends on the paycheck, but if it is a bigger venue, you do make more money, unless I'm opening for Julio Iglesias or something, who I think is dead. So probably not doing that anytime soon.
We can fact check.
It's all about the sound. Can I hear myself on the monitors? Are they chatty? Are they talky? It's all about the crowd. I mean, I would take a crowd of 20 that were great over a crowd that was, 200 that had, 10 people that were falling out of their chair drunk,
Can you describe one of... I think everyone has like that, one or two worst stage experiences. Can you describe what was the worst show?
I had a guy trying to jump on stage. He was climbing onto the stage, and I had to throw him off of the stage onto a table, into chairs, and he was fine. But it looked great. I wish we would have videotaped it. Back then, they didn't have cell phones. Yeah, that was one. That was dangerous and scary. And then I've had interesting times. I've had very interesting times. I've had patches. I've had patches of wet. I've had patches of cold. And I say that, and it depends where I am as well. But in this particular room, I've had nothing but great times.
Good.
I love Flappers, and I love the people. I love the staff. And everything goes without a hitch, and the food's great. It's a no-brainer. I get here at 2 in the afternoon just to get lunch. And I open up the fry thing. I do it myself. But, the couch maybe needs to be steam cleaned. The couch on the stage needs to be steam cleaned, or at least looked through. I don't think the cushions have been properly flogged.
I like that.
Polished.
Looked through.
I mean, it could use a little polish. I don't mean to. Maybe they want it that way, but
I see. What describe a perfect evening for you?
Well, I probably started with a hot bath, some Jello shots, probably, a piece of cheese or something, and then, it all depends who's around me. My newest assistant, Vladimir, is quite, and I think I pick assistants that I have to baby because I want to be a father. So I have these assistants I sort of basically take care of, and I hope them assist me. I'm assisting my assistant. I mean, why don't I just do it myself? But I have this need to nurture and to care for, and I think that's what I try to do more often than not.
I see. Guys, I see. And where did you find Vladimir?
Craigslist.
Okay.
Craigslist, and in Missed Connections.
Mm-hmm. It's a good resource.
If you're looking for an assistant, yes, it is.
Gotcha.
You ask the hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
What is your song Donut about? Well, it's about a donut. It's just a trick question.
And I know, and I've seen you perform, you tend to have backup singers and dancers. And I've seen you perform
Right.
with Kyle Kreis and Jaime Salita. Will they be joining you this? Not Kyle Kreis.
Kyle
Kyle
Shire.
Shire.
Kyle
Sorry.
Kyle Shire, Jamie Slater will be here. We'll be dancing. And Kyle lost a whole lot of weight, so you might not even be able to see him when he's on stage.
Okay.
We're doing the bits, we're doing the songs, we're doing the whole thing, and they'll be dancing. And we have some new choreography that we're going to implement tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Very nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. Sorry, can you do the Dr. Phil one more time?
Hey, coming up next, he's leaving her, but she's the one with the penis. Coming up next, hey, we're going to make a bundt cake out of spit.
Oh, it deserves more than that. I wish we had like a, I don't know, what's more than a rim shot?
What's more than a rim shot? I can't say what's more than a rim shot, but there's a few things.
Yes, Kyle Shire, Jamie Salita. I mispronounced both of their names.
Kyle Shire.
There we go.
Jamie Salita.
There we go. All right. How did you decide? How did you come upon them as backup singers?
Well, they're not singers; they're the dancers.
Dancers. That's right. Dancers.
I met both of them as a team. They were in the belly room during a show called Roast Battle, and they were doing something together, not in sequence, but they were working with each other on stage in a rhythmic fashion, and I basically, befriended them and said, "Listen, I want you to work for me, be part of my touring company, and when we do other gigs, and you'll be able to tour the country and the world." So they both do their own stand-up. They're both stand-ups, so when they can go up, open for me, I go up, they go up, everybody's up.
And what was I going to ask you? What was I going to ask you? Why am I having this moment? I hate this. This is terrible. This is unprofessional. I had the question.
Coming up next, he's gonna check himself before he wrecks himself.
Oh man.
What? How about Kevin Spacey? Do you like Kevin Spacey?
I love Kevin Spacey. Please.
House of Cards. House of Cards.
I hope you're happy. I'll show you what they say means nothing. What they do is gusto. What they want is apple pie. It's right over there.
And then regular Kevin Spacey is just like,
I like you. I want to help you. I need you to like me. I want you to like him. Don't like them.
Can you do Jeff Bridges?
No.
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 I see.
Can you?
No, not at all. No.
Oh.
I admire him, but that's good. You said you're preparing for something. Can you tell me a bit more about that? Like, is there a future show or album you're working on?
Right, we're shooting a music video in about a month, yes.
Okay.
Shooting a music video with Bobby Lee and directed by Sean Hart. It was just fantastic. And we're shooting that, and then the single will come out when the video's ready.
Very nice. That's what I remember. What I wanted to ask. I wanted you to tell me about the evolution of the wardrobe that you have for. the show.
I love that. Oh, thank you. I started out with tuxedo pants, silver tuxedo pants, that were worn with, of course, suspenders. As you wear tuxedo pants, you don't wear a belt. So they were with the suspenders, and the ones I had were too big, and then I lost more weight, so they just became these giant clown pants. So I was doing my best to keep them up, as with, and I had a gray shirt, and I wear the blue marching band jacket. I have 53 different marching band jackets. I only wear the blue, though, and I've never worn any of the other ones.
Any of them?
No.
And they're just in the closet hanging.
Well, I have an arrangement with Cirque du Soleil, and when the show is ready to go, and be a part of Cirque du Soleil, then jackets would be implemented. But they're actually on reserve for Cirque du Soleil, so I cannot actually use them, any of them.
So I see. You have
but the blue one.
But the blue one. So you
The
have
blue one I can use.
the blue one you're using.
The other ones, no.
The other ones are on reserve, though.
Blue one, no. Other ones, yes.
I see.
Wait, reverse that.
Right. So there's 49 other. Are they all blue, or is it multi?
I feel like you're contradicting me. I don't know what that means. That word means.
Contradicting? It means that I'm.
Don't try to beseech me. Is that a word?
Beseat?
Is that a word?
I feel like it possibly.
Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't.
Almond Joy.
Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. But the thing that you should not... I don't like to look at it as that the mounds is half full. I like to think it is the mounds nuts were cut off in the factory and replaced with chocolate. So I look at it as like it really is a barbaric work to have the album Asswax, to have the album The Shingles, and to have the next album Ditto Kiddo. When all these things come together, mismatching and secession.
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 The session.
The session.
The session.
The session.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
I feel like we're playing matchmaker. What's that voice called? $7 million question, $25,000. Whatever I was talking about doesn't matter. But like I said, I'm very excited about the shows.
Yes.
People are going to hear this. Probably going to make them not want to go to the shows.
I think it'll make them want to go.
But regardless, it is a thing.
Do you have? Where can people find you on Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff?
On Twitter, it's the Jeff Richards.
Mm-hmm.
On Vine, it's the Jeff Richards. On Twitter, on Facebook, I don't know how to even describe that. But on Instagram, it's Tasty Jeff.
Tasty
and
Jeff.
On Snapchat, it's Tasty Jeff.
Tasty Jeff.
Anyway.
Sorry, my finger slipped.
Finger slip. That's how my parents met.
This is the greatest episode of this podcast I've ever done.
That's what they always say.
No, seriously. This one is the greatest episode.
And how many have you done?
I think we've done 135.
Okay, so I'm number 1 out of 135.
That's correct.
So it's as good as being, getting a number called a DMV. It's one house. No, I don't mean to put it down. They are complete works of art in and of themselves. But I guess what I wonder is, where is the waitress?
Actually, she's right there.
No, I just want to know where you are.
So there's
Hello.
this. You've seen the Actors Studio, right?
I've seen the Actors Studio. I actually had a pub tent there once because I was sleeping overnight for tickets to Bon Jovi.
Mm.
And they had pub tents set up inside the Actors Studio.
Oh.
Because that's what they were doing.
I see. The questions that he always asks at the end of every Inside the Actors Studio, and I don't know why, but I just have these impulse to ask you these questions.
All right.
And so, what is your favorite noise?
I would say the electric, this, what do you call it? What is the thing called? A weed whacker. But only when it's not hitting anything. Just in the air, weed whacker. I love that.
What is your least favorite noise?
I would say someone that works at Applebee's, a waiter or something. You know that generic, like,
Hey, how's it going? Everybody having a good day? How's it going? Hey, all right. Let me know if you want to know about the blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I know they're trained to do that, but I mean, there's got to be a way to split the difference and be gracious, but also, being able to keep some of your dignity.
What is your favorite curse word?
Probably cocksucker or fucker, dick sucker, probably cock licker, cock toucher, sticky bumper. This all I got.
This is my favorite question. If heaven exists,
Bumpy stumper. Did I say bumpy stumper?
if you did,
Lick guzzler. Puppy mupper. Puppy mupper. Puppy mupper.
puppy mubba,
Papa. Pa.
ba,
I feel like this is one of the, I feel like we started out and after the first 5 minutes, we just stretched. It felt like the whole time we were stretching. This podcast should have been 10 minutes.
yeah, you're probably right. I can't.
You know,
dispute
it's like,
that.
you know that thing when people go like this and they're not going to be able to see us, but they go like this? You know, I always thought this meant stretching, but I actually thought it meant make taffy. Make us some taffy right now.
And was there ever a situation where you actually started making?
I don't know.
taffy?
You tell me.
Oh, I
Now my blood sugar is getting low, so I don't know what I'm saying.
I see. Last question.
Who's the second best podcast?
Who's the second best? Probably Bobby Slayton. That was a fun one. I felt so bad. He's the pit bull of comedy. That's his thing. And like an idiot, introduced him as the bulldog of comedy, and he went off on me for a good 15 minutes. Deservedly so.
Well, I mean, you know, there are consequences. People have their things, and if you muddy them with your footprints, there can be serious repercussions. Some of my pet peeves include heavy breathing, over the bra, light touching, under the bra, light touching. Any kind of touching is a sort of a pet peeve. When people come up to me after my show, they just want to hug me and they want to devour me. And I just want to have it. So I'll do a meet and greet in a cage. So I come out, I sit in the cage. People slide their things they want me to autograph through the bars. And then I sign them and I give them back and I stay in the cage.
Wow.
And I actually stay in the cage far after they close. Because that's the only way I can really settle myself.
I see the logic there. I do.
Good.
I have one more question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, give me that jacket. It's simply divine.
All right, guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me, Joshua.
And so please come see.
Joshua. Nice to see you.
That's the best I've ever
Wonderful
heard my
host, you
name.
really are. Your hair should keep that length as much as it can. I know it won't.
You think this is good?
It's not bad. It's not terrible.
Jeff Richards will be performing this Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. here in Burbank. In Claremont, we have Grant Cotter, who will be performing Friday, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., Saturday, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m.